Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com, dwyervip.com. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Now, it's late afternoon here in Northern California. I'm battling the sun. Bear with me. The New England Patriots, I like the under 12.5 wins. Again, the under 12.5 wins. Now, I know last year the Patriots were 14-2. But if you look at the numbers, if you look at their expected wins and losses from last year, right now on ProFootballReference.com, you're going to see that the 14-2 really overrepresented what the Patriots actually did. The Patriots should have been 12.7 wins and 3.3 losses. In other words, the idea that the Patriots enter this season as a team that just lost 2 games last year is a bit misleading when you look at their actual performance. Now, I'm going to name some games that I feel are going to create problems for the Patriots, right? And keep in mind, while the Patriot offense last year was elite, statistically their defense was not, right? They had a defense that really was run-of-the-mill. They had the high-powered offense. Let me also point out, too, that you saw the cracks in the Patriot defensive unit the last game they played, the Super Bowl, where they were getting blown out well into the third quarter, right? Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons were doing whatever they wanted offensively against this Patriot defensive unit. Now, here are the games that I think really warrant you taking the Patriots under the 12.5 wins. Understand, right? 12-4 is a hell of a record. Understand, the Patriots play the NFC South. Now, before I begin, I'm sure many of you feel that teams like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a legitimate shot of making the playoffs. I'm sure many of you are thinking about Adrian Peterson with Drew Brees, with Mark Ingram, and a very high-powered New Orleans Saints offense. Well, let's go through the games that I think are going to give the Patriots problems. September the 17th, they play in New Orleans. Right? Now, if Matt Ryan was able to test that Patriot defense, I wonder what future Hall of Famer Drew Brees is going to be able to do. Let's face it, too, New Orleans' biggest problems are defensive, not offensive. In a shootout, in a dome, I believe New Orleans has a serious shot against the Patriots. The Patriots also played Tampa Bay in Tampa Bay on October the 5th. Right? Now, if you believe that Jameis Winston is going to continue his career progression, right? He was great last year. Folks, look at the yardage. Here he is now, 1 year later. They have all kind of talent. I think that game is going to be a problem. Doug Martin, their running back, is expected back by then, post-suspension. I think that game's going to test them. October the 22nd at home against the Atlanta Falcons. Wow. If there's one team in the NFL that can't wait for their next match against the New England Patriots, I would say it's the Atlanta Falcons. They've just spent an off-season hearing about the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl, right? I'm guessing this game is already circled on the calendar of Atlanta Falcon Nation. I think it's going to be a tough game. November the 12th at Denver. Folks, if you want to know what a good defense looks like, look at the Denver Bronco defense. Right? How about November the 19th in Mexico City? Neutral site. against the Oakland Raiders. Folks, the minute a team travels internationally, I think you can't assume it's going to be business as usual. Mexico City has a lot of Oakland Raider fans. The Raiders made the playoffs last year. Derek Carr is one of the league's better quarterbacks. Right? I think that's a game that the Patriots could easily lose. Then, of course, you have December 17th at Pittsburgh. Right? Now, you remember the Patriots beat up Pittsburgh in the playoffs. If you believe Pittsburgh makes the playoffs again this year, don't be surprised if Bill Belichick, who's all about rings, doesn't have a vanilla type of game plan against the Pittsburgh Steelers when they play in December. If you're playing a team in the regular season who you know you might play in the postseason, you might not show all of your cards. The Patriots, especially if they win a weak AFC East, might not even have a lot of motivation to play hard against the Steelers in Pittsburgh on December 17th. Now keep in mind, I've just named 6 games. Saints, Bucks, Atlanta, Denver, Oakland, Pittsburgh. I haven't named any of the AFC Eastern opponents, right, who know the Patriots well because they play them twice a year. Think about Jay Cutler and the Miami Dolphins, right? I consider Jay Cutler an upgrade over Ryan Tannehill, right? December 11th, believe it or not, the New England Patriots are going to have to travel to warm Miami, right? South Florida. And Miami's going to get a crack at them. Buffalo played New England tough just last year, right? These are divisional games that are different than the games I've mentioned against quarterbacks like Drew Brees, Matt Ryan, Jameis Winston, Derek Carr, Ben Roethlisberger. Right? So I like the under 12.5. A 12-4 season where the team makes the playoffs, is healthy going into the playoffs, would be very welcome by Bill Belichick. Keep in mind, this year too, given the equality, we'll call it, in the AFC North, right? Bengals could be special. Who knows? Right? Mixon, the running back, could be a game changer. The Steelers and the Ravens are going to battle things out. Right? None of those teams might get to 12 wins. I keep hearing about the Oakland Raiders, but what about the Kansas City Chiefs? What about the San Diego Chargers, who a lot of wise guys like? Do you think any of those teams are going to get to 12 wins? Right? We keep hearing about the Tennessee Titans. Right? Houston still has a great defense, folks. I'm guessing Jacksonville is going to be improved. Don't they now have Leonard Fournette? And running back, Tom Coughlin, hasn't he been there in the front office now for some period of time where he could actually leave his fingerprints on that team? Right, so, and of course the Colts, once Andrew Luck comes back, are the kind of team that could surprise some of these opponents later in the season. So since the Patriots might well get the 1 seed off a 12-4 record, which would cash this bet, the under 12.5, I'm not sure if Bill Belichick is going to be revealing his hand in some of these late season games. I think some of these opponents like For example, the Pittsburgh Steelers on December 17th are going to have far more to play for than the New England Patriots. 12.5 is simply too much. Last year's 14-2 overstates what the Patriots did based on points scored and points allowed. I like the under 12.5 here for the New England Patriots on the 2017 season wins over under proposition. That's how I see it. Let me hear from you. If you feel the over's a lock, if you feel the Patriots are going to lose no more than 3 games, even though they play teams like the Saints, the Bucks, Denver, and Pittsburgh all on the road, then I hope you leave that information in the comment section of this video. Tell us your reasoning. I like the under 12.5 wins. Let me hear from you. Thanks for stopping by.